All right, friends. It's what really no one's asked for. This was what I wanted to do. Um, if you're like me and like Sarah, that are still mentally at the cottage, because really, have any of us left? Will any of us leave? We
Probably
don't know.
not.
Probably not. Um, this is the Game Changers Heated Rivalry Yap session with the Hockey Princess podcast and Hot Girls Learn Hockey. Sarah, thanks for coming back on.
Thank you for inviting me. We have had quite the past few months.
What a time.
What a
What
time to be alive.
what a time of a lot of joy, a lot of pain. I still don't know how we got through that 1 week in between episode 4 and episode 5.
I
And now
I blacked
everybody has
out.
it so easy just binging it. And I'm like, no, you still have to at least wait a day of like sitting through that misery. Um, I'm going to do a massive spoiler warning because we're going to talk about literally everything: the show, the books, the future, the everything. So if you are not elbows deep in this game changer shit, there's a lot of spoilers coming. Um, Gosh, where do we even start? Do we
I
want to start books or do we want to start show?
Let's start. It was just like how we. I think we should start with like how we first got introduced to this concept, to this universe, because I feel like you and I have different introductions because
Yeah.
I went in as I had never I've read like hockey romance.
Mhm.
Obviously, I have a vast amount of like variety of taste of romance books, especially with
Yeah.
hockey too. So I read romance, hadn't read, I've heard of it, hadn't read Heated Rivalry. It wasn't until I saw the very first trailer, and when it had like maybe like 1,000 likes or something like that, and like the Heated
Right.
Rivalry page had like 2,000, 5,000 followers, where it was like just everything was coming out. And so that got me intrigued. And then that made me read the books and then obviously watch the show when it came out. But I don't know. I think it might have been different with you though.
I bits and pieces a little bit further back, but nothing like super continuous until like slightly before the show came out. So I remember when they like first announced like that Jacob Tierney was doing this project because I
Mhm.
remember seeing the headline of like Shorzy producer doing an
Yeah.
hockey romance, and I was like, fuck yeah, because Shorzy's
Yeah.
also like
Oh,
one of my
love it.
favorite shows, and I was
Shorzy,
like,
Letter
sure,
Kenny.
like yes,
Why not?
obviously I will watch this, and also it's hockey, so obviously I'm gonna watch it anyway, even if
Yeah.
it's not my cup of tea. Um, but that was a while ago, and then not that I like forgot about it, but it was kind of just like, when they like do the initial announcement and then you don't
Yeah.
hear anything for the longest time. And then I think the trailer came out. I saw that and I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. There was a TikTok video that got me to start reading the books, and it was the text of I have this problem.
Oh,
And it was that
yeah.
bit of I don't want this problem to ever go away. And I read that section and I was like, oh shit. All right.
Yeah. Like, I guess, like, okay, I'll read the books.
Sure. And it was like
Fine.
around Thanksgiving. It was like before Thanksgiving. Cause I remember my Thanksgiving was truly just like sitting around reading all of it, like on my laptop, on my phone, whatever. Um, and then just like massively reading the books as quickly as I can. I think I did Tough Guy, Role Model, and oh God, what's Troy and Harris?
Common goal.
Common Goal in a day.
Same.
And then everyone kept telling me that I was going to cry at the long game.
I
And
know you
so,
put off reading it for so long. I was messaging her and I was like, "Have you read it yet?" She's like, "I'm about to read it." I'm like, "I'll leave you alone."
and yeah, so then I think also I just like needed a minute because 1 through 5 I just read so fast, but I
Mhm.
did two and then went back to Game Changers and then did 3, 4, 5, waited a little bit because I was like, if everybody's going to tell me that I will cry, I need a second.
Yeah.
And then I read Long Game. So it was, I knew about the show a little bit further back, but it was also kind of one of those where it's just like how we heard about Off Campus a while ago. And it's like, yeah,
Yeah,
whenever
and
it does like
yeah.
drop, I'll watch it, but I'm not like anxiously awaiting it.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember there. Yeah, that's that like long pause because like they dropped the news about off campus and then we heard absolutely nothing until like the cast was announced and I was like, okay, we get something. So like I can't even imagine hearing about a gay hockey show by Jacob Tierney and then having to wait.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah, Jacob Tierney. Sure. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Because like Letterkenny was great, Shorzy's great. Heated Rivalry has just consumed my brain. I fully believe that it's a cult, but I'm happy to
Oh,
be in this cult.
I was drinking the Kool-Aid, drinking the ginger ale, one could say. I'm drinking the ginger ale and
Eating the tuna
eating a
melt.
tuna melt, even though I literally don't like tuna, but I'll eat it one if Elliot makes me one.
Well, yes,
I
obviously.
will shut up and eat it. I'll say thank you.
Could you imagine if in episode 4 if he was like, "Do you want a tuna melt?" and he would be like, actually, no."
No, Shane in the long game though would be like, do you know like how much like processed fat is in that tuna melt? Him and his and
Bird
I really
diet.
if anyone can't tell by like the way that this information is so fresh in my mind, I literally was in line at In and Out earlier and it was so long, I was just rereading the long game. And so all this all of Shane's diet is just like playing in my head of his like macronutrients. I don't even know what he eats, but
Bird food.
bird food, protein smoothies.
Psychopath. Absolute
Psychopath.
psychopath.
Oh,
Canadian.
what a Canadians. Am I right?
I do love like Ilya's obscene diet in the long game, especially because it isn't we've got the loose base joke with Sid and Ovi with Shane and Ilya and like
Mhm.
knowing that Alexander Ovechkin's diet is absolutely disgusting. So during the long game when I was reading it, I was like, yes, this is
Yeah.
actually canon. This is accurate.
Like this is actually factual off of like who he's supposedly
Yeah.
supposedly based on. We're not gonna
No.
say anything, but we're gonna say it without saying it.
We're you know, there was inspiration because even Rachel Reed admitted she's like, I watched the Road to the Winter Classic.
Yeah. And you know what? I was thinking about the other day. I feel that we would not have had Heated Rivalry in the way that we do had it not been for that damn lockout season that made it so that Ovi had to debut a season later than he was
Yeah.
because he was the class before Sid.
Yeah.
But lockout, went back to Russia, played on his old team. They said, "Come back. We're gonna we come back, guy," and he said, "Okay, come back." Like and then they were just like pitted against each other because it's these two number one picks. So I feel that if it hadn't been for that lockout season, I don't know, we might have still had that as big of a rivalry, like how we have like the Macklin, not rivalry with Macklin and Connor Bedard, but it would have been like that, but not as impactful as it actually was.
No, I don't think it would have been as impactful because I mean, like it is, like you said, it is a rivalry between
Yeah.
Macklin and Connor, but I feel
Hmm.
like the whole Canada versus Russia also is an added level to
Yeah,
that,
for sure.
where the Connor rivalry is just
It's
two
just
small
it's
children from
two
British
two
Columbia.
two little Canadian kids just shooting a puck around.
Exactly.
Like
Um, okay, book-wise, because we both read the
yes.
books first.
Yes.
Um, what were your favorites? What are your least favorites? Run me through book side. What are your
So, it really does. It's like based off of really how many of them I've reread because I've reread each of them at least twice,
mhm.
at the very like the bare minimum. But I think my favorite, honestly, has to be Game Changers, um, which is like would be sound crazy to like someone who only likes Shane and Ilya, but it's just I'm so protective over Kip. Like love Kip in the show, but like I have such an emotional attachment to Kip in the books because Kip goes through it in the books
Yes.
with this man. And no hate to Scott. We love Scott. We love that Scott redeemed himself. But man, was he not treating Kip the way that Kip needed to be treated and deserved to be treated during playoffs, you know.
That I'm very glad that they took that out of the show because
I think it would have made people like hate Scott.
right, and they already well, and the fact that people hated Scott and Kip in the show just because it wasn't Shane and Ilya, I find ridiculous. But I think they would have definitely hated Scott even more. And that aspect, because I do love my Scott Hunter,
Yeah.
um, that aspect I definitely do hate. I think I understand Scott just a little bit more just with like the timeline of it because I think a
Mhm.
lot of people, especially when like they were reading or watching the show, they were like, I don't understand why he can't come out. And it's like it's
Yeah.
2014.
Yeah, yeah. It was
It's
like
only been like
yeah.
12 years, but it's still vastly different environment.
Yeah, for sure. On so many fronts. I think it's easy for people to forget the years that these are because they do the time jumps, I will say, in the show
So weird.
just like they do in the books where it kind of you go from this year to this year to this month to this season. And I'm like, but even my boyfriend was like, why are we going so fast? I'm like, oh, that's kind of how it is in the book. They just have more words in the books. But yeah, I think it's easy for people to forget the landscape and the environment that those years were in terms of like sports and like hockey culture. I obviously wasn't a part of hockey culture, but even just like any sports culture in like
Right.
the early 2000s or mid to late 2000s, early 2010s, early 2000s, literally just like before like what maybe like a couple of years ago, it was kind of not like a big conversation of queer any sports players, but
Yeah.
in this case hockey. And I feel like people forget that and they're just like, I don't know why it's such a big deal for him to come out, like you said. Whereas in real life, if Scott Hunter had come out in 2008, 2009, 2010, he wouldn't, we wouldn't even see him playing in the timeline when Game Changers starts. He would have probably gotten pushed down to like an AHL team
Right.
or an ECHL. Like he would not be an NHL player. And that's just, I mean, it's shitty,
Sucks.
but that's just how the universe was back then.
Right.
Yeah. And so yeah, it's easy for people to forget about that. Also, when my boyfriend was watching the first episode, he was asking about why the whole and emphasis on Shane being Asian. Because for those of you who don't watch my show or anything, my boyfriend's Japanese, so I any like Asian hockey players like in the NHL or any league, I like to highlight and bring to like his attention because it's
Oh,
people that he can follow. So he didn't understand really the whole emphasis of why, you know, like in the scene where it's at the draft party and Montreal's GM or whatever is like also we totally love that he's half Japanese. We totally love that. We have no problem with that. And his mom is just like I didn't think there was a problem, but thanks
right.
for letting me know. And he thought that I was weird, and then I had to remind him it's 2009, babe. Like we're we had a long way to go. Yeah, like Montreal just had like has their. I wonder if I think he's the first Asian. Is he the first Asian captain in NHL history?
Hollander?
No, oh, no, no. I meant Nick Suzuki. Sorry,
Oh,
I meant the real.
I
Oh
was
my
like,
god.
they definitely don't specify that in the books. Um, I don't think so, but I also wouldn't be surprised if that is the case.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
No,
Yeah.
that line was definitely weird. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, we said there's gonna be spoilers. We hate Montreal's.
Montreal is
Not.
trash.
I mean, maybe not real, but at least the Game Changers Montreal
The
is.
Montreal Voyagers are
The Montreal
trash.
Voyagers can eat shit for all like except for Hayden and JJ. They can stay.
Poor Hayden.
They're fine. They're fine. Poor Hayden. He's gone through a lot.
That man is stressing just
Uh,
so much.
it's the fact that he gave Ilya so much ammo for the rest of their lives. If Ilya ever pisses off Hayden and then Hayden tries to like come back at Ilya, he'd be like, well, you outed us, so like I feel like I have free ammo for like towards you for the rest of my life, which
Oh,
is just so funny.
yeah, we're all, as much as I hate to say it, because in the real world, I'm not an Ottawa fan, but fictionally, Ottawa is where it's at,
Yeah.
especially in the Canadian world.
Yeah, gotta love. I love Troy. I love Ilya. I love Shane Hollander, the newest addition.
Spoilers.
Spoiler. Spoiler. Shane says fuck you to Montreal and goes to Ottawa. And oh my gosh, I really hope the rumors of like a third sequel, what do we
The
consider a
third
third sequel?
season.
Whatever, a third season and a third book. Because I really, oh my god, I would love to
I'm
see them.
really hoping for it, but also that my worst nightmare is that they split up the long game into 2 seasons, and the end of season 2 is the plane. I
It's
That's my nightmare because I'm like, that couldn't be the end of it. But also logistically, you could have an entire season of like them getting outed and the fallout. Like
no, yeah,
you could
totally.
definitely drag that out. But God, I really hope they don't end season 2 on the plane.
Yeah, and I wonder how much of like the other books they're going to include because I mean we had mention of Ryan Price in episode 4 when
Yeah.
they're at Ilya's house, and then we have someone cast as Kyle in episode 3.
Fucking Kyle.
Fucking Kyle. No, it's just not what I expected for Kyle.
It's not what I expected, but I'm here for it.
I'm
Um,
supportive.
I may be biased just because Kyle and Eric's book is one of my favorites. Um, yeah, I hope we get more with Ryan and Fabian than just the like excerpt that's in the long game of them going to Fabian's show.
Yeah.
Like I hope we just get a little bit more than that. Um but I honestly like don't know because I feel like that's one of the weird ones where they're like not directly tied to like either the pairing in New York, in Montreal, in Boston, or Ottawa. Like it's just an awkward
Yeah, and
spot.
like you know, I mean, we get a Troy mention and Troy cameo in Tough Guy, but it's in like the worst way because it's him just being like a piece of shit with Dallas. Uh, and so like you, and then then we have like the end of it where Ryan rocks in on Shane and Ilya at the camp and then finds out about
I
him.
want that bit. Give me
I
that.
want that. I will take that one. I'll take that bit if out of you know, there's a lot of things in Tough Guy that I would want to see, but I need to see that.
I want that bit and I want the um isn't there a flight with Price where he's like tweaking or no, that's him and Wyatt.
No, oh wait. Is it when he goes wait, no. I think I know what you're talking about. It's when he and Fabian get into the fight after because Fabian wants Ryan to quit hockey because Ryan got hurt
Yeah.
and Fabian was like, I don't like the sport, I don't like you fighting. And then Ryan's like, well what else am I good at if not this? And then so then they have like the fight and then they like I don't think they actually break up, but like Ryan's like spiraling about that on the plane and it doesn't help his anxiety. And like I don't think he takes his anxiety meds or something like
Right.
that. But that is a scene in Tough Guy. And then like you just he says that he can like very faintly hear like Troy and Dallas like laughing at him or something like that. I'm like, God, are we like 12? Shut up. But Dallas kind
I
of hate
do
you
think we need a little bit of Troy being awful
to appreciate
to
the character growth.
appreciate what he goes through with Harris because I think that's such of a big portion of his like growth from tough guy into I will never remember their actual book name. It's awful. The Troy and
It's a
Harris
role
show.
model.
Role model. There we go.
If it sounds like we're so knowledgeable, I just have my notes in front of me from my episode. So I'm like, it's role model. It's common goal. Yeah, I'm bad. I'm bad with the ones that aren't my favorite.
That's fair. Which ones are not your cup of tea?
I will say this, and it's only because I've only read it twice. It is Eric and Kyle's Common Goal. I need to read it more because I've grown a fondness of Eric Bennett from rereading Game Changers so much because he's like the quiet goalie. And I love a good, like the age gap is cool, but I love a good, not real it's a, I don't want to say it's, starting over in your like
Right.
in your later life,
But
but I
it kind
mean
of is.
he's like he essentially kind of is because he's, divorced, exploring his because he's always known he was bi, but he
Right.
had never gotten a chance really to explore the side of him that is attracted to men. And then also he's gearing up to retire, so it really is like a restart and like a new life for him. So I do like that aspect. And I kind of wish we got to see more of that, just because like he doesn't retire till what, like 3/4 of the way in,
Yeah.
or is it halfway in?
I think halfway in he knows, and
That
then
he's
it's
going
just the
to.
like
Yeah.
because he keeps it from Scott and Carter for a while. And for a
Yeah.
long time, Kyle's the only one that knows that he's going to retire. And then, because like the big grand gesture at the end is like, I played my last game, and then he immediately goes back to New York
Yeah.
to be gross and adorable. I want more of Eric and Kyle solely so I can watch more Carter Vaughn.
Oh, I love Carter.
Because
I
the
love him.
character's fantastic, but the guy, I don't know a ton of the actors' actual names, but the guy
Yeah.
who plays Carter is fantastic.
Oh, he is. I love him. He like encapsulates the energy of Carter like so well.
And I think how like the New York group is definitely more vocal than some of the other teams in terms of just promoting Pride as a whole,
Hmm.
and how they're like go to Kingfisher all the time, and it's just
Hmm.
a lot more positive in the New York scape or
Yeah,
scope. I can't wait to see more of Carter Vaughn in that.
I know. Oh my gosh, that's So I it kind of like it's nice that they got an episode, but I do kind of wish that we got more of like of more scenes from the Game Changers and more of his dialogue with Scott. Because the scene, oh my gosh, I was rereading it the other day, and the scene of where Scott comes out to Carter, Eric, and oh my gosh, the third one. I don't remember his name. I don't think they can. I don't think they casted the third friend of his on the team. I don't remember his name. I wish I did. I think it was like Bug or something like that. I don't know. But the whole Carter being like the Kip. That's the cutest name. And being like, do you have a photo of him? Like, and which one of us would you date? Like, who do you think is the hottest?
I definitely agree that I wish that they got more in these, but also, I mean, six. I really wish we would have gotten like 10 episodes
Yeah, I
because
know.
I think that could have flushed out a bit more of everything.
Mhm.
And that's truly my only complaint because otherwise it's absolutely perfect. I just
Yeah.
wanted more is my
Yeah,
biggest
that's
complaint.
and that's I think like the best complaint you can get. It was I
Yes.
wish there was more of this.
But I think between episode like where we leave off in episode 3 to where you resume with Scott and Kip in episode 5, if you don't read the books, you're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, did you get back together at a point? Are you still just like broken up and you're just at the game? Like, what's happening?
Yeah, you definitely are, you miss a lot of context, that's for sure. Which, I'm happy I didn't have to see the whole conversation that they have where they get back together, because that makes me cry when I read it, and I
It's
knew that I would cry if
so
I
sad.
watched it. But I think they went about it a really good way. I just wish there was there's some scenes in Game Changer that I wish were in their episode, but I completely get it for like time's sake that they only included like the very important ones. I will say this, I kind of did not like how they tweaked and I understand why they tweaked it. The whole art gallery scene,
Yeah.
because it's very different. It makes, I don't know, it makes such a more emotional impact the way that it is in the book. But it also kind of it makes you like have like the ick towards Scott, because the
Yes.
whole like he like all Kip wanted to do for his birthday was go do something with his boyfriend, and then it gets ruined, and then Scott says this is a terrible idea. I don't know why we decided to do this, and then Kip's in his head like, well, it was for my birthday, but okay,
Right.
whatever. So like, I get it. I get why, because it makes both of them not look like the bad guy. Because Kip just wants to go to look at art, and Scott just wants to buy art, but then Scott freaks out, and Kip's very understanding of it. But I don't know. Like, I understand why they changed it, because I feel like if I watched it the way if I watched it the way like they have it in the book, I would be like, oh, this Scott guy sucks.
Yeah.
Like, Kip, get a new boyfriend. But
That's
yeah,
what Kyle's saying in Game
I
Changer.
know that's what Kyle's like. Break up with your boyfriend.
That I do wonder if they kind of, and maybe even do it like in a flashback or anything. Like, are they going to keep Kyle slightly having the hots for Kip?
I mean, they obviously, dropped like the hints, the like the subtlety of that in episode 3, with Kip always like kind of just looking at, or not Kip, Kyle always looking at Kip when Kip's like, it's like Kyle looks at Kip, Kip's looking at Scott on the TV.
Yeah.
So they definitely have alluded to it. So I wonder if that is just, if it was just like a nod to that, because they didn't know whether they were gonna get,
Or if they bring it
greenlit
up
for more.
more like
Yeah.
through Eric and Kyle's like dynamic. Because I know there were times earlier in the books where like Eric and Kyle are talking, and even Eric can clock that Kyle is just staring at Kip.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, why would you when Eric's right here?
Yeah. Yeah. And then there's just Ilya calling everybody out for everything.
God, I need Ilya in the Kingfisher in season 2. I don't care what scene I get because there's a lot to choose from. I
There's,
don't care
yeah,
if it's shit in Role Model, Long Game, whatever. I need Connor's story in the Kingfisher.
in the bar, in the Kingfisher, just clocking anyone and everyone on their gayness and their crushes.
Yes,
Because he is such a perceptive character. And
give it to me.
it's literally, he just likes causing chaos and walking away.
Yes,
Likes causing emotional distress, not distress, but emotional like chaos in someone's head of like, oh my god, am I being obvious? And then just goes and he's just goes and calls Shane.
yeah. I need the oh god, it's the beginning of Kyle and Eric's like the first time one of the first times Eric goes to Kingfisher. And Ilya's even like calling Kyle cute or whatever. And he's like, the bartender, like, Kyle's looking at you.
Yeah.
Like, give me that. Just give me all of it.
I think it's is it at Kip and Scott's engagement party? Because they have it at the Kingfisher. I think it's that.
Yeah, just give me that moment.
Yeah.
Please.
Because then also it shows the fact that Kip and Scott made it. Yeah.
Give me season 2 already.
I
Please.
know. Oh my gosh. March of next year cannot come fast
Is
enough.
that
And
when it is?
that's what Jacob Cheney said the earliest it could be.
Yeah, I'm okay. I really thought I was gonna have to wait for like Christmas of 27.
Yeah, I mean, and that, I'm hoping that that's the actual timeline. I'm hoping that we get it by March, but I'll just be happy if we get it before 2028. Um,
Me too.
just because.
But also I'm like, if you're taking this much care into it,
Mhm.
I'm really not a patient person, but I can be.
I can be if the right amount of episodes is given. If it's more than 6.
Yeah, I need more than 6.
They can
Please.
do, if they could do 8, I feel that I don't know how TV shows work. I don't know how they get funding for it. Because I know the Canadian government, I think, partially funded Heated Rivalry.
Yes, because somebody posted, they're like, I love that Cindy Crosby's tax dollars are going
Are going
to
to
pay for Heated Rivalry.
I didn't even think about that. Oh my god. I love Canada and their necessity that at least a certain percentage of the media that they put out has to be Canadian funded. It's oh my gosh. Yeah, but I don't even know where I was going with that, but yeah, no, funding. I don't even know. I don't know if having the popularity that it's gotten, which is like I think way more than they actually intended it for, like for the show to
Oh,
have.
yeah.
If that will play a part in them getting more funding, like maybe HBO will co-produce. I don't know. I don't know how these things work, but if anyone does if anyone has money, can you give it to just give it to Jacob Tierney? just just give
Right,
him
I'll
a
give
big
you
bag
money.
with the dollar sign on it or a Canadian dollar sign on it if it's different. I don't know. Again, I don't know, but just give him money. Give him money. Give Connor Hudson. Give all of them some money, and then they can do with it what they want as long as they put out more than 6 episodes.
Please, we can't have so many of these books be shoved into 6 episodes.
You couldn't even do a movie with all the books. It have to be at least like 2, maybe 3.
Yeah, initially I was hoping that they would do, and I know that they're not going to, especially with everyone having the like uproar of an episode and a half not about Shane and Ilya. But I'm like, if you could do season 2 of book 3 and 4 and then run season 3, um, like run role model and the long game at the same
Hmm.
time, which
Yeah.
I feel like they should do anyway, because it's literally happening at the same time.
Yeah. That I mean, gosh, it's like you said, people did not like the attention not being on our favorite gays and going on the other ones for at least like an episode and not
Which
even
I'm
a
like,
half.
that's ridiculous.
It was like an episode and 1/12 because it was like what maybe like a 10-minute scene in episode 5. Or I guess if you combine that with the beginning of episode 6, I guess maybe that brings it up to like an episode like 1.25.
But still, it's like they're the literal game changers.
They
They
are the
need time on
reason.
the screen.
They don't Shane and Elliot don't exist without Scott and Kip.
Yes.
They they walked so that Shane and Ilya could run to the cottage. And I stand by that, and I've always stood by that.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
This whole thing is our TED Talk.
This whole thing is our TED Talk. This whole thing is just what our what literally just what we want and what we need and what we love.
You know, one bit, I mean, really, I don't have any complaints about the show. As we said, the only thing is I wanted more.
Yeah.
There is one slight bit that I wish that they would have put in the cottage
Hmm.
episode. The like when Shane alludes to or when Ilya alludes to the proposal.
Oh, one day I will bring you to Cottage and there will be candles everywhere. And Shane, that's a
And he's like,
massive
I'll have
fire
just
hazard.
one. And he's like, I'm not gonna want to marry you
Yeah.
if you've just beaten me.
Oh, that one's oh my gosh. I could have sworn that they would have included that because they literally had Hudson and Connor
They filmed it.
read that verse.
They filmed it and cut it.
Did they?
Yes.
Jacob Tierney. I
But
need Jacob Tierney. Listen to me. Are you listening? You're not gonna watch this probably. I hope you do, but if you do, I need you to drop bloopers. I need you to drop cut scenes.
yes.
I need extended scenes. I need behind the scenes. I need all the scenes.
And I
I
need all
need
6
I
episodes
need
on DVD.
I need all 6 episodes uncut, director's cut. I need the audition tapes for every single person who was on this show. I need it all cuz you're gonna starve us. I need to be fed until 2027. Ugh.
We need something.
We need something. I will say this though. The void that I'm feeling with the lack of episodes of Heated Rivalry and having to wait for season 2, I hope will be filled with off campus when it comes
Now
out,
I'm
because
curious.
I which I I'll fact check this after we get off this, but I which one was announced first? Because it's two hockey based romance book to TV adaptation series produced by streaming services, produced by Crave, produced by Amazon Prime. But they could not be more different. Like, yeah, they have, spice and stuff, but they truly, and it's not to compare them because they are their own two very,
Yeah,
very good universes. I love the Game Changers universe, love the Briar University cinematic universe. But like they could not be two different books with two. I feel like a kind of an overlapping audience, but like
did you see the like timeline of fucking Ilya Rosanov would have played on the same team in Boston
with
as
with
Garrett
with
Graham
with
and John
with,
Logan?
with John Logan and Garrett Graham. But was Garrett captain? I wonder if Garrett took over captaincy when Ilya left.
This is what we need.
This is what we need. No, what I need is I need Connor's story and oh gosh, what's his name? Stephen Kahn or whoever plays Dean. I'm obsessed with that actor. I need them to do something. I just need them to be in the same room because I need to
Yeah,
see them next to each other. I need to see these two entities that are so close to being the same, but also not, but also kind of together in a room or just on my phone screen, like in the same frame.
sure.
It it would heal something in me. But yeah, I don't think I'm trying to remember like exactly how far Amazon Prime really goes with like spice because HBO can
It's
get away
not
with showing like
it's
everyone's bits and
not gonna
pieces.
be that spicy. I think it's gonna be not complete fade to black, like red, white, and
Yeah,
royal blue, but I
yeah,
think you're still going to get some things, but I mean, you're definitely not going to get nearly as much as you got with Heated Rivalry.
no,
And I definitely agree that I'm curious to see how they do it because it's like, yes, there's hockey, yes, there's spice. And it's literally the only similarities between
yeah,
these two shows. Um, and so I do think obviously people are going to like have their favorites of like when off campus comes out and they're going to be like, off campus or game changers universe,
hmm
but it's like they're so different.
yeah. They're so different, and it's like you said. There's only maybe like three. There's like less than five bouts of similarity between the two. What you can, I mean, I guess if you want to include like daddy issues, like Garrett
Well,
and Ilya, but
isn't
they're
that just
so
hockey
vastly
players?
different. Yeah.
Don't all
Yeah.
hockey players just really have daddy issues?
Yeah. I mean, I can't speak for all, but I have a feeling.
It's definitely seems to be a
I have
running
a hunch. It seems
theme.
like it in all
And
the
maybe
player
that's just
profiles.
the like
Yeah.
masculinity and like how masculinity is framed within the sports world. But
Yeah.
it definitely seems like it's a common theme, especially in like the book talk universe of hockey.
Yeah. It's like I'm never good enough for you, Dad. And then the dad dies. Um, and in both cases, well,
Or the
Garrett,
dad is just awful.
or the
I mean,
dad's
the
just
dad's just
awful.
awful anyways, but then
The dad's
sometimes
just
they die,
awful
sometimes they don't.
regardless. Yeah, the guy's just awful regardless, and we're better off with when the episode or book comes where he's not there, and we don't have to
Yes.
hear about him. Even though we hear about Ilya's dad even after he dies, because Ilya just talks to his therapist about it. But
Which we love.
which
I
we love. I
I
love
cannot wait to see Ilya in therapy. I
Ilya
mean,
in therapy. That's so much Russian dialogue. I'm so ready for Connor's story to have not just a 5 minute, but learn like pages and pages and pages and pages. Because he only talks to therapists. Is the only therapist in town that speaks Russian. So you only
Yeah.
talk to her in Russian.
I I'm excited for, I mean, the long game, the book, The Long Game made me cry. The show is definitely like, I'm going to be unwell if they include half of the long game into whatever season they've depending on how they break it up. But I hope there at least is like a decent portion that follows like Ilya, either like when he's in therapy or just kind of working through it. Because one, I think it's a great thing to see that we don't really see in like sports romances,
Mhm.
or it's not even just highlighted. Mental health is just not highlighted at all whatsoever in the sports world, in the real world. So, and also from an acting perspective, like you said, like Connor Story is going to tear it the fuck up.
Oh, he's gonna thrive, and with all the amount of time that he'll have right now to like keep on, working on his Russian and working on his dialogue. Um, I honestly would be surprised if he ends up being like semi-fluent by the time like the entire show is done. However many seasons. He went in this for an acting job. He came out bilingual.
Yeah. Another bit that I kind of hope that they stray slightly off, because like they are included, but I just want to see them more. I
Mhm.
want more Rose and I want more Svetlana.
It's, oh gosh, it's the way that I do love the change they had in Svetlana turning from a girl who worked at a car dealership in Boston, and that's how her and Ilya met, and then they just became, very friendly with each other. And then he just goes to her once him and Shane like get together.
Yeah.
They changed that to someone who's known him since childhood, who knows already that he is bi, and who is like has been like a quiet supporter, and then that I hope whoever Jane is knows how lucky he is. I love all of that. I will, and I because I know it won't happen because obviously this context wouldn't make sense. I love when Ilya tells Svetlana that he's
Yes.
bi, and then she guesses, and she's like, "Who is it? Who?" And then he gives her all like the clues, and she's like, well, if he's a hockey player, his name is Shane. There's only one Shane, but it couldn't be. And then she's like, "We need more wine." And then they like get drunk at dinner, and he just talks to her about Shane. So, and that I love that in the book, but obviously we can't have that in the show because she knows. Maybe they'll change it to where he tells her that it's Shane.
Yeah, because it's like she, and maybe she does have an like a possible idea that it might
Yeah,
be
because Jane
Shane.
is not that slick, Ilya. Jane,
No.
Jane.
And like him getting weird every time she brings up, like,
Shane.
he's very good and he's
Yeah, he's
cute.
very
You have to
handsome.
admit, he's very
Yeah.
good and
He's
he's
like,
cute.
He's like, "What do you know that you're trying to tell me? I'm not gonna feed into it, but I can tell that there's something that you're trying to ask me without asking me." But then she doesn't push, which is also good. But I love their friendship, and I do love Rose and Shane's friendship. I think Rose, like their text conversations are really funny when you read them in the book.
And I wish that they, because I know that they like allude to like Shane seeing Rose, like depending on where she's filming in
Mhm.
like different areas when he's traveling. And I hope we just like get to see more of an actual moment of their friendship and not just like alluding to like, oh, I saw Rose when I was wherever.
Yeah, it's not like just like a pass. She's not just mentioned in passing. Like we actually see, so was it Sophie Nelise? She comes back and does like at least like a cameo, at least one scene. That's
Yeah.
all I'd
Well,
ask
I mean,
for.
you're gonna get one scene. You got to put her at the wedding.
Oh, you gotta put them at the wedding. You gotta put her and Svetlana talking together by the altar. Waiting for Shane to come out, and you gotta put in the Ilya's talk with David with when they puts on the cufflinks. I cry so hard, and I'm about to like tear up thinking about it. It's the like I'm gonna cry. Oh my god. It's
This is what these
I don't
books
have
do to us.
I don't have a Stanley Cup, but I have Shane. I can't cry. I have lash clusters on. They can't get wet. But it's that scene. I need that scene. If just thinking about it makes me want to cry.
Oh, so okay, so not to like add to it, but I need the wedding with the
I,
kids and playing the Moana
oh
song.
yeah, the and Arthur dressed up like a firefighter and Shane and the magicians um cape.
I need that full we can't like cut corners with give me that full wedding.
No,
Cut
if
the
we
actual wedding.
yeah, could just cut the other wedding. Give me the actual wedding.
Give me the one with the kids
Give me the one
playing the
with the
Moana song in the
kids.
background.
Yeah, if we had to get if we had to sit through the aquarium scene in season 1, I want the weddings the Moana wedding scene in season 2.
Okay, but and I know a lot of people didn't like the aquarium scene. I feel like it was necessary to at least include something of Shane is not a robot in a skin suit. Like
Yeah.
he actually has other interactions aside from being at the rink. And granted, I know that's like his whole persona is he is
Mhm.
Mr. Hockey.
Yeah.
But I think it was nice for like the audience to like see him have some sort of interaction. And also I think it's a great scene to show so when later on, like when Hayden finds out, when other people find out, like you get to see just like truly how attached Shane was to like his teammates in
Yeah.
Montreal. Um
Yeah, and then it makes the whole when they're found out in Montreal turns against him, it makes it hit a little bit harder.
but at the same time I was like give me more Shane and Ilya.
And at the same time, I was like, we could have like maybe this like kind of cut down a little bit of the dialogue, added maybe like a little couple of extra seconds to the nightclub scene, but it's okay. It's fine. Um, yeah,
That nightclub scene, like I was sitting on my couch, one still crying from the fucking tuna melt
yeah,
scene, ripping my heart out. But of course, we've all seen the interview, like when they were doing like the pre-release panel, and Connor's story is like, "I
yeah.
want this
I want
song,"
this song, and Jacob Tierney's just like side eyeing him, like, "What do you know?"
and then it starts playing, and I'm like, "Oh my god! No way! Oh my god! Oh
I
my
know, and everyone was
god!"
convinced that Connor was like giving a hint, and Connor's like, "I just really like the song. Like, I
It
didn't know it
just
was gonna be in
works.
there." He's like, they hadn't mixed it. They hadn't even finished editing it by the time that the first 2 episodes came out. They're like finishing this like week before the deadline.
Yeah,
That's oh my
that
gosh.
nightclub scene was so good. I
That
mean,
nightclub scene
it
was
hurt my
so
heart,
good.
but in the best way.
It was so good, and I do really like the artistic choices that they took to differentiate um how that scene plays out in the book versus how it plays out in the show. Because in the book, we read it, Shane does not go home with Rose.
No,
He just leaves and he drives home crying.
yeah,
But in the show, obviously he sees Ilya with this girl, and I mean, we know if the book readers know this girl has a boyfriend, and she's just they have a weird kink that they're bringing Ilya into, and
yep.
Ilya's paranoid that he's about to get beat up. But and we as the book readers know that. But and so Shane sees Ilya with this random girl. And then just decides that he's gonna go sleep with. He's like, I'll go sleep with my girlfriend. It's not gonna be very good, but it'll happen.
It's the like, fine, fine,
It's so
fine.
fine, and then they walk away from each other, or I guess technically Shane walks away from Ilya. But I wanted to get your take on this because I've seen people have discourse about the very last like minute of that episode of there's two kinds of people. Actually, there's three kinds of people.
Yeah,
There's the first kind that they are the way that they interpret it is like how I said, Shane sees Ilya with the girl and thinks that he's gonna take that girl
yeah,
back to the hotel, whatever, and they're gonna hook up. So then to not get even, but to make it, so that he seems like he doesn't care, then that's why he takes Rose back to his house. Even though I mean he probably would have anyway,
right.
or should anyway, because it's his girlfriend. But um there's those kinds of people who think that, and then Then we see, him and Rose, but then we see Ilya by himself in the shower, and we see that he didn't take anyone back home. Um, uh, but obviously Shane did. And then there's the people, and I'm kind of on this camp, um, who think that um Shane, takes Rose home because he thinks Ilya is taking this girl home. And we don't see Ilya with the girl, obviously, but what we're seeing of Ilya in the shower is what Shane is thinking about or imagining
I'm in that
while
party.
yeah, while he's with Rose, because it's helping him
Yeah.
without being crude, yeah, finish pretty much, or like stay hard pretty much. And then there's the third kind of people who don't care, and they're just happy that they had like a dual eye contact moment and where they're looking at us like it's our fault.
I'm definitely in the second. I think it's him imagining,
Yeah,
because that also looks like Shane's shower.
that exactly. And that's the thing, is like that does not look that looks
That
exactly like
doesn't
the
look like
shower
a
that we had
hotel
seen
shower.
in the montage.
In that one, that's not a hotel shower.
No,
That
that is
is,
not a hotel shower.
so it's imagination. And then
Yeah.
that like tile looks the exact same. No, I think it's him envisioning Ilya in his shower.
And you know what? If any of them ever get asked that question, I bet like they're just gonna be like, well, we only had the budget for one shower set. But yeah, your guys' interpretation is true. But I do think that I don't know. I think if it wasn't intended, like if that wasn't their intention
Then you
for,
could
for it
put
to be
Ilya
interpreted,
somewhere else.
yeah. Yeah, you could have literally just shown they could have just shown him in an Uber. They had
Right.
the big screen to put him in a car. They had a fake car that they could just sit him in to show that he was going home by himself. No, they showed him in the shower, and they showed it for a reason. And I think the reason is because that's Ilya and Shane's imagination. That's what's helping him have sex with his girlfriend, is imagining his other boyfriend.
Yep.
Imagining my hookup while I'm with my girlfriend. That's Shane Hollander's mind. He's like, well, if I'm just not here, I guess it doesn't count.
It's
If I'm
disassociating
not
on a
here,
whole different level.
he's yeah. And so yeah, I'm on that camp. I'm happy to know you're in that camp too. And I really want to know if that's how it's supposed to be interpreted. Because if it's not, then it's great filmmaking.
I feel like because of how careful they were with truly everything, I don't think there's truly a moment of, with the exception of like moments at like the award show during the final episode where it's like Kip wasn't there because they didn't have the budget for the audience.
Yeah.
But I think other moments like the shower or other things, everything was purposeful.
Yeah.
I don't think, aside from budget, they would throw around the like, well, we didn't have the money
Yeah, I
for
mean,
it.
as much as funny as a joke it is to say that the budget went to that big screen covering Hudson's tattoos and the spaghetti that Connor eats, as much as funny as those jokes are, it's like you're working on such a they were working on, I definitely believe, like a smaller budget than, like, let's say like Euphoria, or
Oh
maybe
my
even
god.
Off Campus got. But Off Campus had a whole university they were shooting at. With everyone, which I also sidetrack before I continue. I loved all the TikToks when they were filming of people just being like, "I guess I go to Briar University now. What is
Yep.
this?" I would have loved to have been on a student on that. I don't even know where. I think it was somewhere in Canada, but yeah, I would have loved to have gone to that school. Anyway, okay, back to Heated Rivalry. But I love the whole, like you said, everything is purposeful, and you could chalk it up to them having a small budget, but they they kind of swerved it in a way that's like, well, yeah, but also this is why we filmed it like this. Like, I was watching a TikTok of this, I don't know what her specialty is in, like, setting up scene. I think she studies cinematography.
They're filming
And
at University of British Columbia.
I knew it was British Columbia. I just didn't know what the university's name was. Oh, nice. Gosh. Um, I'm only 28. I feel like I'm a little too old to be a college student on that campus. Um, but she was
We
talking
could be
about
grad
how
school students.
we could be grad school. I could be Kip. I could be Kip or Kyle.
Yeah.
I could be Kip or Kyle. I'm not a man. I'm not dating a New York Admiral player, but and then those are the only two things separating us. Those are the only two things separating us. So, nothing else. But she was talking about how, like, because of the whole fact of they had like limited, she's like they probably had like booked spaces for like these scenes, but they only booked them for like a day, so any scenes that they did have them in, they had to film them all in the same day. And what she specifically mentioned was the restaurant that Shane and his parents go eat at, because
Yep.
they have the scene in like what is it, episode 1, I
1 or 2.
and then and then they have and that's when he's like what, 19 years old, 18 years old, and then you have then we they go back to the same restaurant, and in episode 4, and Shane's obviously, it's been like what, 10, almost 10 years since that, so he's, in his late 20s, and so they made, they had Hudson looking like a teenager, and then they had him more like kind of clean cut looking, a little bit more
Yeah.
older looking, but they were probably shot, she's like, if I had to bet anything, they were probably shot in the same day. One, for like, to get the most out of
The
however much
location. Yeah.
time they rented that location for. She's like, but two, it's also to show how much Shane likes routine. He likes meeting his parents at the same restaurant. They sit on the same side, his parents on
Yeah.
one side, him on another. And he just, it's the autism really, but it's the way that he likes his schedule being in control, and you see that when he's a teenager and as an adult.
Yeah. I didn't even, I mean, like, I knew because there's been conversation of Shane's autism and neurodivergency, but I didn't even
Yeah.
think about that in terms of like the restaurant scenes and everything. Oh my
Yeah, and I didn't think about that specifically until I was watching that girl's TikTok, because she brought up the whole, she's like, it's been brought to my attention that Shane's character is like on the spectrum, and she's like, and this would make sense for someone on the spectrum, especially with their parents knowing that their child is, autistic or what have you. Um, if one of their big tendencies is they
God.
don't like a lot of change, and they like routine, of course they're going to have him meet them for their weekly, monthly, however many times they do this dinner, and they want to sit at the same table. They sit at the same side. They order the same things. Um, you know, because I think they even mentioned that in like the second restaurant scene of them. They're like, we ordered you like the salmon and vegetables, just like you always order, or something like that.
Yeah.
Like he likes routine. He doesn't like deviating. So it's like it from like his normal. So then obviously the thing with Ilya just throws him off, because he's like, this isn't my normal, but it's great.
Because Ilya's not normal.
Ilya is not normal, and we love him for that. And he brings out Shane's like funny, goofy side. Yeah. Um. So yeah, it wasn't until she said that I really thought about that, and then going back and rewatching the episodes made me kind of go. It put it in my brain like, oh, maybe they filmed it this way because of this way. I can't
Yeah.
think of any other examples other than that restaurant scene, but I don't know. That changed the way I watched it.
I love
Mhm.
seeing the different TikToks from folks that live up in Canada that are like, I can't watch this thinking that like this is Russia because it's all like filmed in Hamilton, Ontario.
Yeah.
And they're like, see this castle that's supposed to be Russia? It's a 10-minute walk from the smoothie place, which is
Yeah.
like down the street from this other location. Like, my world is breaking.
It's the way that you can do the Heated Rivalry tour and not even really probably have to get into your car.
I want to do it. Get me to
I
Hamilton, Ontario. Like, let's
I
road trip it.
Yep.
I'm there.
I Yeah, I need to go, and I need to stand at I don't even know, the side doors where Ilya's trying to light his cigarette and it doesn't light, and he meets Shane for the first time. I need to see, it's supposed to be in Saskatchewan, but I need to stand there and stop. That's where history was made.
It's where our world changed.
That's where my
Um,
my worldview pivoted.
truly. And a lot of people's worldview, because, well, not like worldview, but worldview of hockey, because there's a lot of folks getting into
Oh,
hockey now with this show, which I love.
oh, it's crazy the amount of girls that have like messaged me on my TikTok account and asked me which teams are the best ones to go to for like your first hockey game, and like outfit recommendations, and like the amount of just TikToks I've seen of like I finished Heated Rivalry and I just went and purchased tickets to like my local like beer league or whatever. I'm like, girl, you're not gonna find Shane's Dahlias at your local beer league. That's just dads waiting for their sons to get out of practice. But you are gonna
But
have such a
go
fun
for it.
time. But you are
Freaking
gonna
do it.
have such a fun time, and you're going to love it. And you're gonna love any hockey game you go to,
Yes, because it's the best sport.
because it's like it doesn't matter because it's so entertaining. And regardless, you're gonna have a fun time and you're gonna love it. Whether that's you go to like an NHL game or you go see your local, beer league, or you go watch, an AHL team, or you go and watch a PWHL game. Why not? Regardless, you're gonna have a good time.
No, for sure. You're gonna have more fun at PWHL. That is my
Oh, gosh, I need it to come. I need Northern California to jump on the bandwagon because I don't have the funds, or not the funds, but I don't have the time to go to. I saw the one that you guys, or that you went to, was that in Chicago,
like
or where was that?
slightly,
Okay.
basically, like not Chicago proper, but one of the rinks slightly outside of the city. And then we're getting another one end of March, which I'm
Mhm.
very excited for because that's the Sirens and Seattle Torrent.
Dude, I don't remember her name, but there's a player on Seattle's team that like I follow her on TikTok. I follow a bunch of the PWHL girlies on TikTok, but her game day outfits. I'll send you her name. I cannot think of it off right now, but I'll send you her name afterwards. But I am like in love with her. She has brown hair. I wish I could remember her name, but I'm like 99% sure she plays for Seattle. I want to
Probably.
say starts with an A or something. I don't know, but her game day outfits slay. Love
Love.
them, love them, love them, love them. Oh my gosh, like woman crush forever.
I love that we're getting game day outfits because I honestly like part of certain players. I'm like, no, like Austin Matthews should not have a TikTok showing me the game day outfits. But I wish that like everyone had as much fun with like that side of it.
I know.
But some of those players, their outfits are so atrocious that I'm like, actually, no.
Yeah, like I love Will Nylander, but they've his game day suits and his outfits, they deserve they deserve something. I don't know if it's appreciation or if it's questioning, but they deserve to be acknowledged in some kind of way, especially when he wears a fedora.
Yes.
So I'm just picturing his outfits in my head. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I gosh, I didn't know how to feel when the NHL took away the whole suit requirement to suit up
Right.
for game days. I thought for sure, and I think I was talking to someone about this. Like I just for sure thought that all these like young kids were gonna show up in any PR package shirt that just got sent to them from like Red Bull or Bauer, and just like have a beanie on and just call it a day and just wear some sweats. But I've been decently surprised.
It's been better than I expected.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
It could be a lot worse.
yeah, it could be a lot worse. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine, I guess, because we have the PWHL girlies to kind of show up and show out with their outfits.
Right. And I think it's like I think that's going to be any sport in general because
Mhm.
off season, I am a
Yeah,
Formula One girly through and
yeah.
through. And you even have it with that where there's some people like Lewis Hamilton or other drivers where it's like it is a fashion show to
Hmm.
go to the track. And then there's some where it's truly just their entire kit. And you're like, you're kind of boring.
It's like give us something.
Literally anything.
Have fun. Why don't you fun?
Show some ankle, like
Show
do it.
some angle. Don't be so demure. Give us a little skin.
Please.
Yeah. Uh, as long as the guys just don't start dressing like how some like football or basketball players do on their game day outfits, because I don't like a lot of their outfits.
Yeah, I think they're doing like even if they continue how they're doing now, like it's fine. It could be
It's
better, but it also could be so much worse.
yeah, it's yeah. I mean, it's like it's
I really wish can we get like game day fits in the Game Changers universe?
I
Because
know.
I'm
I do. I'm
also
always thinking about what they're wearing when they're showing up to
out of
their
the
games.
players, like the main players in the Game Changer universe, who do we think has the best game day fit and who do we think is the most boring?
Love him to death, but I have a feeling that Shane's is probably pretty boring. He probably
Yeah.
just wears like the same five suits.
I also
Um,
think Scott would not be extravagant.
no, I mean I feel like he'd kind of diversify, especially after coming out with like maybe having like a little pin, like a little rainbow pin or a
Right.
little like heart or like a little like brooch
But
that
I
has like a
also
K
think
on it.
because and not to the level of they talk about like Shane needing routine. Scott is also pretty routine heavy. So I
Yeah.
can't see him, branching out too
Yeah, deviating from the norm too much. I do think that it would probably be between like probably I think just between Troy and Ilya, um, of who would have like the most like kind of fun game day outfits. I just have a hunch that Ilya would be the kind to show up in like a velvet suit. I can see him making that decision. I don't know if it's the Eastern European in him
I feel like
that's
he would
calling.
look like how David Pasternak looks for pregame fit.
Yes.
Like that's what I'm envisioning for Ilya, especially like very early Ilya Rozanov in Boston.
Yes.
I am envisioning pasta.
You can take the
Um,
man out of Russia, but not the Russia out of the man, and they'll show up.
exactly. And I think Troy gets more fun when he goes to Ottawa.
Yeah, because
Like
then
I
yeah.
think
Oh no,
Toronto Troy is boring.
Toronto Troy, you wouldn't catch him dead like doing anything fun, because like that wouldn't be
That's not very
cool.
Toronto of him.
Yeah, that was not very Toronto of you, Troy. No, Ottawa is when he'd find his whimsy and it would come out, and then he would come out.
Um, Minor characters, I think Carter Vaughn maybe is out there with the fashion. And it might be one of those where it's like strong but wrong, but at least he's trying.
Yeah, or if anything, it's just like really colorful socks, and his pants just aren't tailored very right,
Because
so
he
it shows
sees
them off.
Scott with the blueberry banana socks and now he wants
He's
really
like
loud
he's like
socks.
I want my gay boyfriend to give me socks.
Yeah.
And so then he just completely misreads it. He just reads it as like Scott just wanting to be more fashionable and him just wanting to one up him. I could definitely see that. Oh, Hayden would be kind of boring.
Oh, yes.
Hayden Hayden could be he could do something fun by like having his kids draw on his tie. Or like draw on his like suit like jacket. I feel like that would be really cute. But I feel like for the most part, Jackie's, pressing his suits for him and making sure that his socks match.
Yes. Um, I do, and I don't think this is specified in the books, but one of the like headcanons that I have is Wyatt Hayes has like from the kids hospital that they go to, that's
Mhm.
his helmet. Is he's got like drawings from whatever kids that they're hanging out with. Like that is definitely the helmet he's rocking.
That would be a very Wyatt thing for him to do, and I feel I support that. I don't know. Yeah, like you said, I don't know if it's canon or not. It's canon in my universe.
And I feel like that is a thing that happens common enough like in the NHL. Granted, it's more
Yeah.
like my kid drew this and so now it's on my helmet, but I
Yeah.
definitely like it's common enough that I think Jacob Tierney, add this small detail, please.
I like it'd be like a subtle nod to like, if you know, you know. Have you show like a little Mario Kart like Switch game console on it? Like, you
Yes.
never know. I wonder what the oh, I've seen this discourse too. What do you think the colors are for Ottawa's team? Because they don't mention them in the books,
Uh,
and we don't see them in the show.
I think they're going to be the same.
Like the
Because
black,
I mean,
red, and
Montreal's are
gold.
basically the same. Boston's are basically the same. I think you get red and black
With like the
for
hints of like gold. Maybe like
yeah,
maybe the Centaurs gold. If they keep
like
it the Ottawa
Centaurs like
Centaurs.
wearing something.
If they keep it the Centaurs, which oh gosh, I like
I don't even know if they're going to be able to keep the Centaurs.
no, probably they couldn't keep the Bears or the oh gosh, what was Montreal's name?
Metros. Oh,
Metros.
no, Metro Voyagers was in the books, and then Metros
Oh
is
yeah, no, they couldn't keep Voyagers or Bears, but so they changed it to Metros and
Raiders.
Raiders. Which I
So,
mean,
and I
Jacob
feel like Centaurs is too like on the nose
for
in
Senators,
terms of
yeah.
like the actual name.
Some Centaurs, Senators.
So I think that I don't know what they're going to change it to, but I think that at least the color palette will probably be
The same. It'll
similar-ish.
just be like Ottawa. I can't even think of a fake Ottawa giraffes or something like that.
Right. I also, speaking of Ottawa, really hope that we do get like book 3 is season 3, or even book 3 is, past season 3, because let's be real, give us more than just 3
Yeah.
seasons. Um, because I want more Luca Haas.
I love that kid, and I it's the fact that they kind of, at least in my opinion, allude that he also might be queer.
Oh,
And
he's for sure
when
queer.
he's yeah, because when he mentions how it's hard to find people to hook up with,
Yes.
to Ilya, and I don't know
I'm
how
like, the
Ilya,
way you look at Ilya, you're in
yeah,
love.
yeah. Yeah, it's like, and you can chalk it up to the fact that he's admired Ilya as a hockey player, but then you're looking at him in like the showers, and you're like, okay, I think that's a little bit more than just admiring my favorite player.
Yep, it's like we saw that in episode 1. It's definitely a little bit more than just that, but I would like Luca to find somebody, and for Shane and Ilya, because at that point Shane will be in Ottawa and
Yeah,
they can just meddle in it.
you can just drag him to the Kingfisher when they're in New York and just like force him to make small talk with somebody.
Yes.
Ilya will kind of force it, and Shane will be like, just whenever you want to approach if you feel like the time is right, and then Ilya's like, no, you go talk now.
Now.
Now, and he pushes him towards like a little scrawny guy,
They do the awkward, like he gets shoved in and then they
and then
start the conversation.
yeah, and then like bumped into each other, and it's like the meet cute. I could see that. I love all the Ottawa players.
Yes.
Ottawa just as a team in this universe is great.
Which is also why folks that have been buying Metro stuff, I'm like, no, wait until Ottawa. Don't buy
No,
Boston or
no,
Montreal
I
anything.
know. I know. Yeah. That's the whole reason why I haven't bought any like of the whole the Metros or the Raiders kind of
No, we've just got our Hollinoff shirts.
yeah, we didn't even show them.
No.
Oh, jeez.
Hollinoff. Hollinoff.
Holinov. Holinov. I only have one. You're about to have two.
It's fine.
It's
That's what adult money is for.
a problem worth having.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Ah, seems very like good quality for an Etsy shirt. I will say that.
Yeah.
You'll be very happy with the one that you get. You got the same as me, right?
Yeah, I literally bought it from the link that you sent me. I was like, sure, just give me another one.
Oh my gosh, cannot wear this in public. Well, I could wear it in public. I feel like I just get a lot of questions.
That's why I like this one, because I don't know. I can wear it in public. I'll probably wear that one in public. Who cares?
Oh my gosh, yeah, I feel like like half of the stares would be like people who like get it, and then other people are like, "Who is that? What
But
is
the
that?"
people who get it, you would be a legend.
people who get it, they'd be like, where did you get that?
Yes, because the people who get it get it.
Get it. And the people who don't. And if you don't, I feel like a Jehovah's Witness. Hi, sir. Have you heard the word of heated rivalry? Have you heard the good word of Ilya Rosanoff and Jane Hollander? There's a girl and I saw watch a TikTok, and she was drunk in an Uber with her friends, and her friend was recording her saying, sir," to the Uber driver, "Do you know who Shane Hollander and Ilya Rosanoff are?
I
Do you
think you
want to know?"
said that to me.
I did. I Because I just love it. She's like, "Do you want to know who they are?"
Because
Well,
everyone
let me
needs
tell
to know
you.
who they are.
I've gotten so many of my friends to watch the show. I really championed for them to watch it after the first few episodes because I wanted a season two, so I wanted us to boost the ratings. I'm like,
Yes.
it's all. I'm like, I will give you my credit card so you can create an Amazon, not Amazon, an HBO Max account. Like, I will pay for you to watch it as long as you watch it,
In
and
its
it has
entirety.
in its entirety.
Um, yeah. What a time.
What a time to what a time to live in, where we get Heated Rivalry and the Game Changers universe and Etsy shirts, and to tie us over until the next season, we get off campus.
Woo woo. Woo woo.
I love
Um,
you.
all right. To finish off, because we
Yeah,
have been yapping for quite a
for a
bit.
long time, I bet.
What is, if you have to pick like your favorite moment in the Game Changers universe, and past or present, like it could be something that's already been in Heated Rivalry or Game Changer that we've seen, but like your favorite, and then one moment that like you want to see in season 2.
Oh, okay. Um, oh my gosh. I think one moment that I want to see in season 2/3, um, if they decide to include it, is um right after when Shane and Ilya get outed by Hayden, and then they go talk to the NHL commissioner, and
Which can
Shane,
we, sorry for a second, talk
yeah,
about the NHL's frigging statement after this like got big, and we're all like,
I
I'm gonna
didn't
hold
wait,
your hand when I tell you this. You're the villain.
yeah. What did they say? I didn't see it.
They're like, it's great that people are like getting into hockey, like through this, like trying to be positive about it. And I'm like, Pookie, you're the problem.
I'm like, if she also in the same breath said that they couldn't use rainbow tape, but okay. But
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 yes,
who's saying that? Who said
carry
that?
on.
But yeah, when I love that scene when Ilya is, or not, well, Shane is like, yeah, no, we're not gonna say that it's a prank. And then he gets up, he's like, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna play hockey, we're gonna get married this summer, and we're gonna be gay and you're gonna deal with it. Okay, bye. And grabs his boyfriend's hand, they go and get a chicken parm.
Yep.
I wanna see that scene because it was a big like breath of fresh air after all the whole like everything, but
Everything.
everything bubbling up in that book of Ilya feeling like Shane will never be ready to own up to
Correct.
the fact that he is like in a relationship with him, and then to have Shane be the one to tell off that Mr. Goody, Mr. Hockey, tell off the NHL commissioner. I want to
And
see
you
that
get
scene.
the like, because you've got the like fight of, would you choose me? And he's like, I already chose you,
I already
Hollander.
chose
And
you.
like,
I already showed you.
which one? My God, that scene is going to ruin me because we know we're getting that. Um, but then like being able to like for Ilya to see, no, he does choose you. And also with the spice of season 1, guys,
Yeah.
we know we're getting the trophy room.
Oh, trophy room scene.
We know we're getting that based on what they've fed us so far.
Oh, if they don't, it's a missed opportunity because that
We're getting it in some capacity.
a king in his trophy room on his throne. Truly. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to. I want to see that scene, and then my favorite. Um, oh, also I want Ilya to go to Harris's family's farm and see all the dogs. I love the scenes of Ilya with the dogs because he.
Yes.
I can just I hear him in my head saying, what is this one? All my friends are down here when
Yes.
he's sitting with the dogs. I want that one
And
too.
Anya.
And Anya and Anya. And then one scene that is my favorite, honestly. Oh my gosh. I have so many, but I think probably my favorite scene is um uh Scott bringing Kip down to the ice and kissing him when he wins the
Yeah.
cup. I think that that's just it really is the scene that changes
Everything.
everything in the books and in the show. It changes everything cuz I mean I mean in the book universe, Ryan Price has been out and gay. He just doesn't
Yeah.
tell you unless you're asked. And so like nobody really like knows unless they know Ryan and they've asked him. So it really is like Scott doing that to kind of get the it's literally just to get the ball rolling, and then it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then we have a gay bar owned by two NHL players. And then we have the Kingfisher, which is like the go-to place for if you're are you gay, do you play hockey, you should come to the Kingfisher. But it doesn't that doesn't happen without Scott and Kip kissing on the ice right after the Admirals. Or is that the team's name in the book too?
Yes.
They could keep that one. Whatever. I guess it's not too far off from or it's far away enough from Rangers. I guess if that's who they're modeled after. But yeah, it doesn't it does nothing happens without that scene. In the book, in the show, nothing.
Nothing.
If that didn't happen, Ilya would not be coming to the cottage. And I stand by that.
No, I definitely agree. Um, well, Sarah, thank you so much for coming on and yapping. I know we've yapped truly after every single episode.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh.
And probably will be because I'm probably gonna go reread some
Yeah.
stuff now. Um, but yeah, thank you so much for coming on again. We know
Thank you
we'll be
so
back
much.
at a point.
Yeah, so thank you so much for having me. I cannot wait to come back on for yeah, I mean everything
More
else
book
that
talk
we
and
have
hockey
planned.
and everything.
More book talk, more hockey, more it's just everything.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
It'll
Thank
be fun.
goodness we have the Olympic gap because then it'll
I
just
know.
be
Oh my gosh.
hockey books all the time.
Yeah. Oh, truly.